Africa, hello Cameroon, and welcome to yet another episode of Shine Africa. We are at the Somatel Hotel in BMIC, and of course I am still your host, Reverend Abongta Mirabel Siringwa. On today's episode of the show, we want to talk about philanthropy. We want to talk about philanthropists. What do they actually do? What does it mean when someone tells you they are a philanthropist or something? But first, ladies and gentlemen, before I bring my sweet guest to you, put your hands together for our guest artist, Ekinde.
My soul longs for you, Lord, I'm thirsty for your love. I am waiting upon you, for the showers from my bowl. My soul longs for you, I'm thirsty for your love. I am waiting on you, for the showers from my bowl. You are my desire.
Your presence is heaven to me.
I worship you forever.
Your presence is heaven to me.
Lord, I need you.
Your presence is heaven to me.
Lord, I want you.
Your presence is heaven to me.
Your presence is heaven to me.
Your presence is heaven to me.
I love you, my God. Oh,
Your presence is heaven to me.
In your presence there is fullness of joy. There is peace. There is love. Oh Lord, I worship you. You are the God I know. I put my trust in you. You are the lifter of my soul. Great and mighty God, forever you will reign.
Oh Lord, I worship you. You are the God I know.
I put my trust in you, faithful God.
You are the lifter of my soul.
Great and mighty God.
Great and mighty God, forever you reign.
In your presence there is fullness of joy. In your presence there is fullness of peace. In your presence there is fullness of joy. In your presence there is fullness of joy. In your presence there is fullness of peace. In your presence there is fullness of joy. In your presence.
I'm so helpless without you. I cannot live without you. I'm so helpless without you.
There's nothing I can do without you.
Your presence is heaven to me. 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 Your presence is heaven to me.
I'm so helpless without you. I cannot live without you. I'm so helpless without you. There's nothing I can do without you.
I'm so helpless without you. I cannot live without you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep clapping for Psalmist Cliff. And what a wonderful way of beginning today's episode on Shine Africa. And like I told you from the beginning, my guest is a very beautiful and very pretty lady, and we'll be talking a lot of things that you're going to discover. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ayuni Christabel. You're welcome to the show, dear.
Thank you, Reverend.
You are so pretty, so beautiful.
Are you? Thank you so much.
And please, you get pussy eye.
Yes.
It's very beautiful. It fits you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You asked us to do a cocktail. So today you want to taste everything.
Yes, I want to have a blend of everything.
A blend of everything that we do on Shine Africa. I can find it. Colorful.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to my kitchen where we do the happy juice. Please,
After you.
Shine, Africa, shine. Shine, Africa, shine.
Our juice is now ready.
I can't wait to have a taste.
This is for you.
Thank you.
Let me add some.
All of it, please.
What's your favorite color, please?
Red.
Red.
Yes.
Wow. That's a beautiful color for a lady. The lady in red. Oh, yeah, all red.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there is no red, so I go with you. I take a blue.
And that's my second
Yeah. Oh, wow. Can you have a sip of the juice, please?
Yeah, right.
Wow. So tasty. Thank you for letting me have a taste of this.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
And just before we take leave of you, ladies and gentlemen, remember that a kitchen without a juicer is not alive. A kitchen without a juicer is not alive.
Shine, Africa, shine. Shine, Africa, shine.
You're welcome back from that break, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just joining us, you're still on Shine Africa, and we are at the Sumatra Hotel in BMC. And I'm still in the company of my very pretty guest, Ayuni Christabel.
Yes.
I'm trying to call it in Lamso, Ayuni.
Yes.
Yeah, Ayuni Christabel.
Yes.
That's pretty. So let us know more about you. Who is Ayuni Christabel?
Ayuni Christabel is first a baker.
Yes.
A baker and CEO of Chris Cakes. Ayuni Christabel is a gender activist. Ayuni Christabel is a philanthropist, a singer. Ayuni Christabel is a multi-talented. Yes, because if I have to start naming, I may spend the whole time here.
Yeah, saying all the things that you're
Ayuni
doing.
Christabel is a mother of one cute boy.
Yeah.
So-
And to begin with, you come from Banso.
Yes, I hail from the Northwest, from So,
Yeah.
proudly Bansu.
Uh-huh,
Yeah, so
okay.
I was born September 13th, 91.
Wow.
And I studied in Bamenda. I grew up in Bamenda, where I had my advanced level GPHS Bamenda Tamulu.
Wow.
And then I moved to Yaoundé to study English Modern Letters at the University of Yaoundé 1. So I'm a bachelor's degree holder in English Modern Letters.
Wow.
After that, in 2013, I was privileged to meet a multi-talented like me in the person of Tilda Kumichi. She gave me space at her organization, Gender Empowerment and Development, where I volunteered and I became program assistant sometime later. And after some time, I was able to, stem out and come up with something I call Creative Minds today. And so I'm founder of Creative Minds.
What's Creative Minds, please?
Creative Minds is a platform for valorization of potentials at any stage. So at Creative Minds, we celebrate talents at the young level and at the succeeding level. So we use the succeeding talents to encourage the young talents anywhere we find them.
Is it an organization?
Yes, it's an organization.
Yeah.
It's an organization.
So it's a group of people who bring what sort of talents?
We bring any kind of talents that is tabled before us or that we stumble on. Music, cookery, baking,
What do
anything.
you do with such talents?
We try to situate them, we try to encourage them, we try to groom them up. Some
Like
carry this
career orientation.
Yes, some carry these talents and they don't even know.
Oh.
So we orientate them and we make it bring food to their table for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that's so beautiful. What catches my attention is the fact that you read English modern letters here in Yaoundé.
Yes.
And now you're a baker. How did that happen?
Like I said before, I'm a multi-talented. So at some point in life, you want to focus on one of the talents and eat from there and then just enjoy the rest. So I think I'm eating from my baking talent because I wouldn't really say I have an educational background in baking.
Yeah.
I didn't study home economics. But I just came from a home where
Hotel management, all those things.
I just
Okay.
came from a home where my both parents will be kitchen masters. And so I have that in me.
So you inherited that.
Yeah, yes.
Wow, that's so. Mhm.
I realized in school, when you get to the university, you start getting independent and all that. I realized I started making some money, some cash from my baking. When this neighbor has a birthday party and I offer to do a cake and I'm like, okay, just buy the ingredients and I'll do. And from the ingredients, I get probably a surplus of the flour and the sugar for myself and all that. So it started bringing me closer to people, taking me to places to present my cake and all that. So today I'm a proud baker and a teacher.
Yeah.
Not proud as in proud, but I'm proud of where I am.
So do you teach?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
teach.
Secondary or primary school?
I don't teach in the schools. I teach people how to bake. I train bakers.
Okay, I get it.
Yes.
I get that.
And it's
Now-
part
now,
of my philanthropic work too.
Let us talk how baking got you into your philanthropic activities.
Okay. I thought of the fact that out of nowhere, I started eating from baking. Like I started making money from baking. I could take care of my rent. I could take care of myself. So I thought of somebody out there who could pick up this talent and make something out of it. And I quickly thought of the single mothers. Because at some point I was a single mother and I knew what it was like. And as a gender activist, I realized that a greater part of gender-based violence on women came from financial dependence.
Yeah.
When you're financially dependent, especially on a man you have a child with, when he's moved on with his life, you realize that you become an object of insult.
Yeah.
Every time you're calling a married man to get money for your child and all that. So I started encouraging a group of women to go financially independent. And the only way I could do it was with the skill I had. At the time, I couldn't pay people to come and train them.
Yeah.
So as a baker, I could give him my skill for free.
Yeah.
So I started training them in the flour business, like baking cakes, cupcakes, and other pastries that could just create like a financial shift.
Yeah.
Yes, from 0 to 500 francs just by baking cupcakes and placing in front of your house, just by making pies, the popularly called pili. Yeah. So that's how I got to them. And then I thought of the orphans at the orphanage. They shouldn't just sit there and wait for somebody to pass by and give them a bag of rice or some soap, but they should be able to have a skill to feed on, to make something like puff puff in the morning and curb their expenses as an orphanage.
So when you go to the orphanage, for instance, do you give them, I know that you've already said that you give them your services, your skills for free, but now, as a philanthropist, you need to also spend money.
Yeah, sure, I do.
That is time and talents that you're spending, which is good enough. But as a philanthropist, we know that you should spend some money. So when you go, or when you started, did you go there with some cupcakes, with some cakes, and all of that? I know that you also celebrate birthdays for the children who are in the orphanages. So can you explain
So I got up this day and I had a cake from a client. What I did was I just budgeted for 2 cakes.
Okay.
And one of the cakes was the class at the orphanage. I was like, I won't wait till I have the billions and the thousands of money to go to the orphanage. So I bought in excess. And then when I delivered my cake to my client, I carried the excess to teach at the orphanage. So we baked the cupcakes. And in our class, we discussed what we could do with the product after baking. So some said we could eat, some said we could sell, some said we could celebrate parties with. And I was just jotting down what they were saying. After that, we ate. And then we drew up a roster for more baking classes. And then we came up with a plan to make money, whereby we identified some stores around the orphanage. And then we tried to talk to them to sell on behalf of the orphanage.
Yeah.
Since they are still little kids. And I wouldn't want toddlers going out to sell. So I tried to negotiate with nearby stores. So we baked those cupcakes, we put in some buckets, and then we identified the buckets with the name of the orphanage, and then we just put in those stores.
Wow,
sometimes
that's
you would
beautiful.
like to buy a cupcake that is sold at 100 francs, but you want to buy double the price just because you
see
saw
that
the
it's from
title.
an orphanage.
Yes. So
When we come back from the break, ladies and gentlemen, we would be talking more about what Ayunwi Christabel is doing for many desperate children around town. Let us put our hands together again for our guest artist, Psalmist Cliff.
I believe you are the God of signs and wonders. I believe you do miracles amongst us. I believe you are my bridge across the waters. I believe, yes, I believe. Oh. And wonders. I believe you do miracles amongst us. I believe you are my bridge across the waters. I believe, I believe. Your name is Shama, your presence never fails. Your name is your name is Rapha, the healer of the sick. Yeah, you will do it again. 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 I put my trust in you. My hope is built on you. Come and do it again, Lord. Come and do it again. Oh, oh, I believe you are the God of testimonies. I believe that your joy comes in the morning. Yeah. I believe that your light will shine upon me. I believe, yes, I believe. Your light will shine upon me. Oh, I believe, I believe. Your name is Shama, your presence never fails. Your name is Rohi, you lead me in your way, oh God. Your name is Rapha, the healer of the sick. Yes, you will do it again. Jesus, you will do it again. Savior, you will do it again. Messiah, you will do it again. I put my trust in you. My hope is built on you. Come and do it again. Lord, come on, do it again. You walked upon the sea. You made the blind to see. You made the lame to walk. You made the dumb to talk. Jesus, I say your name.
Yes,
I call upon your name. Your name is a strong tower. The righteous run to it. I know you will do it again.
You do it again.
I'll do it again. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe in you.
And I believe it too.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. Ay! You can sing, guy. That's so nice. Please
you.
have a seat. Wow. It's the second song. I think when I heard the first one, I thought to myself, like, this guy sings very well. Then the second one just blew up my mind, like.
Thank you.
Well, when did you start singing?
Since like 2003.
2003, professionally?
No, professionally 2015.
And why did you choose the name Psalmist Cliff?
Well, I didn't choose it.
The name chose you?
Yes, God chose me as a psalmist. Let me say so. It's like a reverend or pastor. You don't choose it. God just ordains you and calls you to that function.
So you think you're a psalmist? You believe you're a psalmist?
Yes, I believe I'm a
Wow.
psalmist.
Yeah, a lot of songs right in there if you say so. So how many albums, how many singles do you have in the market now?
Well, by the grace of God, for now, I have just one album and one single. Yes, I believe was actually my first single.
Okay.
Then In Your Presence was one of the tracks of the album.
Yeah, how many songs in the album?
10 songs.
Wow, that's huge. Tell me where you're going to from here. 5 years from now, where do you want to see yourself?
5 years from now, I want to see myself in Cameroon, but at the top where my songs are going to impact the hearts of men.
Yeah, I think so because I always say that I think that there is still a lot that gospel artists have to do in Cameroon. We
That's
still
true.
have plenty of they say the labor is huge, but the harvests are few. Yeah, so I think we still have a lot to do, and it is for the public to support artists,
Exactly.
yes, gospel artists to make an impact like we get from neighboring Nigeria.
That's true.
Yeah, any last word before you leave for the audience?
Well, for the audience, my name is Samis Cliff. You can check me on Facebook at Samis Cliff and on Instagram at Samis Cliff. I'm called to actually rebuild the altar of worship in the hearts of men.
Amen.
It's not just singing, but rebuilding that altar of worship, bringing back the hearts of men to God.
Yeah, so if you need him to perform at any event, you can just get him on Instagram or on Facebook,
Yes, ma'am.
Psalmist Cliff. If you find that hard to get, you can write to us on Facebook, Shine Africa TV show. Thank you very much and see you some other time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shine, Africa, shine. Shine, Africa, shine.
You're welcome back from that, I believe, break, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just joining us, you're still on Shine Africa. And I'm still in the company of my very beautiful guest, Christabel. Yeah. Before we went on break, we said when we come back, we'll be talking about more work you're doing for the orphanages and with your job as a baker and all of that. So tell me, during the birthdays, what is the experience like?
The experience is something that has kept me going in any other thing that I'm doing. Like if I have to quit something right now, I'll quit it because of the attention I want to pay to the orphanage birthdays.
Wow.
So I started with them, teaching them how to bake and trying to create a mindset of entrepreneurship in them, of financial independence. But I realized that there was a lot that could come out if they were socially open. And I realized that this is a set of people that have been confined somewhere. They only get the pleasures of people's visits, sing for people who come with cakes to the orphanage for birthdays. But they've never had the privilege to blow candles, wear crowns, and all that. And that's something that even as grown-ups, we cherish a lot. We feel special when it's our turn.
Yeah.
So I tried to give them turns. So what I did with my team was we tried to group them. And since it was an orphanage, it was difficult to get documented dates. So with those who had birth certificates, we could track their dates. But those who didn't have, we discussed with the orphanage authorities, and the day you were brought into the orphanage became your birthday.
Oh God.
So we group them like January. We have the January bonds. So I do a cake, or we do a cake together when I'm chanced to be at the orphanage towards those days. And then we do a cake and we title it the January bonds of celebrating the January bonds of St. Therese.
Yeah.
So now what we do is we go on our various social media platforms and invite some people. I'm sure I've invited you once.
Yes, you have.
So we invite people on our social media platforms. Thank God for the notification of whose birthday it is today and what month. And then I have guests, celebrants. Now with my guests, I try to send you the pictures and the details of the children for you to get them special gifts as a co-celebrant.
Yeah.
So you come to the orphanage the day we put it the last Sunday of the month to make sure that everybody is involved already. So every last Sunday of the month, we go to the orphanage with cakes, with sweets, biscuits, party props, and games. And then we go with invitees who were born that month.
Yeah.
So we have some time with them, we dance, we celebrate just like we do for our kids at home.
Yeah,
it's a whole party, and then the children are super excited.
I think that is a very good initiative.
Yeah.
And I also know that, I think I saw it on Facebook once, you were doing something for IDPs. Was it for IDPs? You were collecting clothes or something?
Yes. On Christmas, like the Christmas season, I did a one child, one Christmas dress challenge.
Wow.
There is this thing about my Christmas dress with children. So I wanted the child on the street and the orphanage to have a Christmas dress.
Okay, it was still for the children in the orphanage. Yes,
it was for the less privileged, like that person that cannot afford to have a Christmas dress. So it was a campaign to buy another dress alongside that of your own child at home. And we got people donating wonderful dresses, beautiful gowns, suits, and the children on the streets could wear a suit, a brand new
just
suit.
Like we all our
just
children
like our
do.
children at home. The child in the orphanage could be in a very beautiful Cinderella gown.
But it appears to me that you're working only with a particular orphanage. There are orphanages all across Cameroon, and I think they are listening to you now, and they're thinking, like, why can she not come to us?
What I did was I did a random selection. We did a random selection for the development project. Like, we teach baking in so many orphanages. But the orphanage birthday was the pilot phase because the organization is young, and as far as finances are concerned, we are still the ones putting in.
Yeah.
So we couldn't tackle going to the orphanage every month to many different orphanages.
Yeah.
So we decided to use one orphanage for the pilot phase of the birthdays. And I'm so glad we succeeded, and it gave us the courage and the energy to multiply this time around.
Yeah, okay.
So this 2020, instead of one orphanage, we decided to share ourselves, and we're doing 3 orphanages now.
Wow, so you're now in groups.
Yeah,
okay.
So last year was the pilot phase to see how good
and now you're implementing.
Yes. So
tell me about some of
wonderful.
the challenges you have had with your work. I mean, working with orphans and being a philanthropist generally. I am a philanthropist.
I know.
Yeah, sometimes it's like people are looking at you and thinking you're giving because you have too much. Have you
That's
felt
right.
so?
Yes. And it's quite challenging because given that these days you really have to showcase what you're giving or how you're doing to help as an organization, sometimes I really don't like the idea of showing what I'm doing, but as an organization, it's a platform to encourage.
Yeah.
But people get it the wrong way. People really think that you have a lot. Some start coming into your DM to ask for help, and it's quite it's disturbing that this person is reaching out and you can't help them,
And you
they
can't
think
help
that you're
them.
helping others
Yeah.
to show off, whereas they are bringing something that you
It's
can't
out of the
afford.
project at the
Yes.
time.
As a baker,
Yeah.
I am the skill. So
Okay.
I don't need too much money to go in and teach somebody how to bake. But when they are succeeding in the baking world, it's like I gave them so much money to start up a
To
baking
start up,
career. But that's not it.
Wow.
So it's quite challenging, and with funding and every other thing.
We're
challenging.
giving a shout out to you because personally I know what you're doing.
Thank you.
I see a lot of what you are doing, and
Thank
we just
you.
ask you to continue. And of course, we are encouraging other Cameroonians, wherever you are, Africans, why not, to do something for your communities. We're not going to stay and wait for a Father Christmas that's going to come to us from America, from Europe, and all of that. We can be a Father Christmas to the child next door. Many people have been listening to you, and I believe they have questions. It is the audience question.
Okay, my name is Cliff Ekinde. My question is this. You say you do cakes. I wanted to know what advantage does your cake has over other cakes? Because nowadays we have so many people who are involved in cake designing and makeups and all the like. So because I love cakes, so why should I not prefer other cakes and come to you for your services?
Okay. First, I'll talk about uniqueness. You can't have one baker in the world today because of the high demand for cakes and the presence of events everywhere at the same time. So I just believe that I'm that baker in that vacuum that is going to meet the needs of the people in need of my cake. So I'm unique. I am called to bake, and there is somebody who is called to eat what I bake. So I just know a lot is happening in the spirit
Is
realm.
it spicy, very spicy than the other cakes you find around?
I don't really get too much in the competition because I know there were a million bakers before I was born.
Okay.
There were a million bakers when I decided to start baking. But because something in me told me to start baking, I knew it's divine. So because it's divine, they are divine eaters.
Yeah.
That's just what I know.
Okay, so
Yes,
that's
so
just being unique.
I know somebody eats my cake, links me up to another person, and another person, and another
The
person.
name of the cakes, please.
Chris Cakes with K. KRYZ, and then the cakes, KEKS.
Wow. Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much. You've been on the hot seat. Now is my time to take your place.
Yes.
It's the guest question.
Okay. Following Shine Africa for a very long time, like since it was Times with Mirabel.
Yes, time with Mirabel.
Yes, I've always known that you are a reverend, you are a philanthropist, you are a TV host, you are a mother, an amazing mother at that, because I
Thank
follow you a
you.
lot. So I don't know, because as young as I am, I'm already choking up in my career life. How do you do it? How do you blend everything? So I pick something and go with it to my own page.
The first thing is to be organized.
Yeah.
To set goals for yourself. When I wake up in the morning, even at home,
Yes.
I have my diary. If I have to call somebody, I write it down. Mm-hmm. If I have to go to the market, well, I don't do that a lot. Mm-hmm. I write it down. If I have to do something for my husband, I write it down. I have to do something for the kids, and I write it down. And then I also like to give out tasks. So I don't want to be like on the show. Mm-hmm. You've been here for some time. You see that I can sit here and everything will be okay.
Yes.
Once everything is done and it's my turn to do my work, then I'll call on me, come and do your work.
Yes.
So everyone knows what they are doing. That way, I can sleep while some other people are working, such that we meet the goal that I've set for myself. Mm-hmm. It's not, I may have created a lot of things, I'm CEO of a lot of things I've created, but I'm not the only one working for them.
That's right.
So that's how I try to keep myself away. But also, you need to have a very, especially for somebody like me who is married, you need to have a very strong husband a husband who is very tolerative
Yeah.
to be able to do the things that I do. So my husband, I'm lucky. He gives me all the space.
You're blessed.
He gives me all the space to do all the things I want to do. And so I don't take him for granted. I make sure that I do everything I'm doing responsibly.
I see you
And I
succeeding
thank
in
God
all
for my
this.
kids too. They are all
Yeah.
supportive.
Yes.
Did I answer that question?
You did. Because
Thank you.
you just threw light on the success in every department.
Amen. Oh,
So
thank
that's
you.
it. Thank you so much. I learned a lot.
Thank you very much. And this is my best slot on the show. It is the dance slot. And you say we are dancing to
Chinedumo.
who?
Mercy Chinwo. Chinedum.
Wow. Okay, can we have a DJ on that beat?
Shine, Africa, shine. Shine, Africa, shine.
Anywhere you lead me, I will go. 'Cause you are the way, truth, and the light. Jesus, you never leave me, no forsake me. Except you build a house, the builders build in vain. Me, I will follow you to go. Anywhere you lead me, I will go. My life is for your glory, your glory.
They stopped the song just when you wanted to start dancing. Can you imagine this?
But I danced.
Wow, you did it, you did. So we are going to see how many marks you've made for yourself just dancing.
I hope it's not the 5 I'm seeing.
So was it a 5? No. Was it a 7? No. Was it a 9? That leaves us with a 10. You deserve it. You deserve it. You're as beautiful as your dance steps.
Oh, wow.
And so you're not going to go away without leaving us with your signature. Just get some space. The calabash is almost getting full.
Wow.
Let me have your... Just get space anywhere and put your name and you sign. Wow.
That's it.
And she did it right here.
Yes.
You have her signature there for verification that she was here on the show. And you do not come on Shine Africa and you go back the same. We are giving to you your favorite color.
Oh, wow.
So you have a pillow just for you.
Thank you.
You can use it to encourage the kids at the orphanage. Wow. Thank you so much for coming and
Thank you
hope
for
to
having
find
me.
you here again when you get to the top.
Whenever you want me, I'll be there.
Thank you.
Shine, Africa, shine. Shine, Africa, shine.
Just before we take leave of you, ladies and gentlemen, here is our watchword. It is a Nigerian proverb which says, a doctor who invoked a storm on his people cannot prevent his house from destruction. A doctor who invoked a storm on his people cannot prevent his house from destruction. That is how we call it quit on today's episode of the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the Somatel Hotel in BMRC where we're having this very beautiful set. And of course, I want to say a very big thank you to management and staff of this hotel and also to the Shine Africa crew. I remain your host, Reverend Abongta Mirabel Siringwa. And until next time, it is a bye-bye from me to you. Bye-bye. Hello, Africa. Hello, Cameroon. And welcome to you. Yes.
In 3, 2, 1. No, that was the echo. That was the echo. 3, 2, 1. Hello.
I'm waiting for action.
Action.
Go on, 3, 2, 1, and walk it. Yeah, I'm waiting for action now.